Welcome in, listeners, to the Shoujo podcast, where I, Sarah, introduce my good friend Joe to Shoujo anime series, and thus the name. Thus or hence? What's the proper and hence?
Hence, yeah.
And thus. And hence.
Hence sounds better.
The name. Okay, well.
Thus versus hence.
Here's Joe. Bringing the
identical meanings. Essentially identical meanings and are often used interchangeably. However, there are subtle differences. Thus is typically used when making a reference to the past, where hence is generally used when referring to the future.
Okay. Thus, because it's established that that's our name in the past. Anyways, showing Joe Shoujo. Get it? Got it. Cool. Welcome in, everyone.
Okay.
Joe, so bring in the academia.
It's hence is usually like the consequence or the reason. It's like the thing happens as a result of that. Whereas us,
then hence.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Ooh, Joe's recording with the doors open. Let's see if that matters.
Is that bad? Should I close them?
No, I don't. You sometimes close them?
Well, my mic sounds always bad to me, and it's like sometimes I get echoey. But if it's open, it shouldn't echo, right? It can't bounce off the doors.
You need more.
That's true.
You need more art to absorb.
That might be the case.
Plushies. Just start making plushies to absorb all the.
Oh, yeah. Or fill my room up with plushies.
Yeah. It'll be so cute.
It's true. That would be cute.
Yes. You have some.
Yeah, but they're all on this shelf.
Yeah. Mine are in constant danger of being snatched by dogs, so I try not to have too many. Well, Joe, how are you doing? We talked a little off mic and I told you how my weekend was. But
you can repeat that if you want. Or you don't have to.
I was feeling under the weather. Read into that what you will, listeners. Long recovery.
Okay, don't say that. You gotta be a little more specific or they're gonna think it's something worse.
Okay, I was incredibly the most hungover I've ever been.
Dude. It's bad
and
when
that
you're old.
super sucked. And now I'm like, right? And then you're always like, ew, drinking's bad. Why would I ever do that ever again? And that's where I am right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I stopped drinking because I had some stomach problems, but now it's also gotten to the points where like recovering from the hangover takes so long that it's not worth it anymore. It used to be worth it because you could recover pretty easily, but now I can't. So it's like, oh,
it truly is not. Yeah,
it's not worth it anymore. So
yeah, I know. Yep. So yeah, I just napped and tried to get through it. I still made it to the gym yesterday and today though, so we're back to it now. Yeah, I don't know. Yep, Joe, your life, I'm sure you've got much more interesting, hopefully, things than me.
I watched some movies. I watched Tarzan.
Good, great soundtrack.
Pretty good. Which brings us to the end. Yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's fine. I don't think like narratively there's anything interesting happening in it.
No. Minnie Driver, she's got a nice voice.
Yeah, no, it's like it's fun to watch. It's good. It's a good way to round out the Disney Renaissance. And next we're watching Toy Story 2, so it's still going to be good for a while, and then it's going to be bad for a while. But I watched that. Not a lot of thoughts about it. I watched Wild at Heart. Did I talk about that last time?
No.
I watched Wild at Heart because me and my girlfriend, sometimes we watch David Lynch movies as we slowly inch our way to the end. And we had not seen that one before. And it's pretty good.
Like a country song or something.
Yeah, kind of. It's, when did it come out? The 90s? 1990, Wild at Heart. It's got Nick Cage in it.
And a romantic lead?
Yeah, Nick Cage and Laura Dern are in it. And they're both super young.
Laura Dern. Ooh.
Yep. And it's pretty fun. It's not super like surreal David Lynch kind of style, but it's still pretty good. That was fun. Interesting. Okay. Because it's like sexy dancing with a hideous rattlesnake jacket or something. Oh, yeah. That represents his individuality and personal freedom. Yeah.
Okay. Because like for me, I saw Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, and then the next time I saw her in anything I watched was when she was significantly older. And oh god, what's that? Oh shoot. What's it called? What's that movie called?
I don't know.
Big Little Lies. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
So I saw her in that, where she's like, she plays a very different character there, so it was interesting. But so I feel like there's a bunch of stuff in her filmography that I've missed.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. So there's that. Watch that. I don't have a lot of thoughts about it. It's just like, yep, this movie, pretty good. Not nearly as many thoughts as other David Lynch movies, but we only have 4 more left because we've already watched Fire Walk with Me. So
was this your idea? Because you just like to add more things to do objective wise, and you're like, let's do it as a couple.
Kind of. I mean, she really likes David Lynch movies, but
stuff. Okay.
And like wants to watch them, but we were just kind of going in whatever order. I'm like, why don't we just go in release order? Because then we don't have to think about the next one. We can just do it. And also that motivates us to watch the bad ones, like Dune. And neither of us liked The Elephant Man very much.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So next we're watching Lost Highway.
Cool.
Other than that, I haven't really been doing that much. Still playing KOTOR 2, making my way through that. Did Dantooine Extremely Boring. I think I talked about that last time.
You did. Yep.
Now I'm doing finishing up on.
I guess that'll be our next is on. Okay. That's like fancy place.
It's like there's the kingdom and there's like the
enclave. No.
There's like the queen is there, and then there's this general, and who are you gonna side with?
That's right. I remember now. Okay. Now I put the dogs in the crate so they don't distract me while I'm recording. Now they're crying, and that's distracting too.
But yeah,
see if that gets picked up.
That's still happening. Hopefully I'll finish that up soon-ish.
Yeah, and then we'll do a bonus episode.
And we'll do a bonus. But other than that, like I don't feel like I've done anything, you know? I'm still just
work
going along with SD Gundam
Force. You haven't watched or you haven't read Witch Hat Before Bed? One of your other things.
Haven't been doing that. Nope. Haven't been reading like I'm supposed to. It's bad.
I started reading a little bit. After I watched Jurassic Park last week, I was like, I'm gonna read the book again. I started.
Yeah.
Because I have the fancy like 2-in-1 Jurassic Park and the Lost World and a fancy hardcover. So I started doing that. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I think the first time I read it, I was in high school, and I think I feel like I read a lot, and so I don't know, but I don't know that I was a very good reader. I think I would skim through descriptive and just go straight to dialogue a lot of the times, which is bad. Read the whole thing. But so I'm feeling I'm doing better at reading everything that's happening. But yeah, good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Short intro section. I literally just don't have anything else to say. I don't know what's up. Did anybody email us saying that they found good Borutos?
Oh, wait. I do have something from a listener. They asked.
Okay.
And this is so good that you brought that up because I was going to forget after I said, oh, we'll totally debate it on the next episode we record. We had a listener ask who we think would win in a fight between Oscar and Utena.
Is this just a normal fight?
If it's solely based off skill and Utena doesn't get to cheat code with the prince coming, then Oscar's gonna. Honestly, I feel like Oscar could win regardless.
Well, yeah, because Oscar knows how to sword fight. Utena never really learns how to sword fight. I feel like throughout the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. But what if they're race cars? Then who wins? Right?
Yes, who's gonna win in a race? Like Andre or Anthe? It's gonna be Anthe easily.
Totally.
Yeah. No, I don't feel like Utena ever really got very good at sword fighting.
No.
Oscar's always good at sword fighting.
Going against people who are doing it like freaking fencing captain and this and that, and the power of being the main character.
I think Oscar could probably beat everybody in Utena.
Yeah.
Even like Akio. Yeah.
Totally. Oscar's
I think that's just
badass.
True. Yeah. I need to read The Rose of Versailles. I still haven't been doing that. Who do we think out of all of the stuff we've watched so far can beat Tamahome? Do we think what's the guy in My Happy Marriage, Kyoka? He blows stuff up with his mind, right? Is he the strongest guy? Are we power ranking everybody?
license. Maybe we could add that to ranking since the mom ranking's kind of fallen off. We could cut that, and I don't.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't make sense for most of the shows we watch, though. Like, what's the power ranking of Itsuomi in A Sign of Affection?
Well, we have Angelic Layer, maybe. Like, if it was like the dolls versus.
That's true, but they're tiny.
I know. If they're.
If they were real big.
I feel like Tamahome.
I mean, this episode he does some pretty raw shit.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just yeah. Well, it's like they all kind of have powers, but the show doesn't really focus on that at all. So it's like, I don't really know what the capabilities are.
These episodes, we introduce a guy who's just like casting spells all the time, and I'm like, what's happening?
Okay, and then I was like, oh, because last episode I was like, I think you're gonna like him, and then he also makes a bad remark about Noriko, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I thought this was gonna be. I thought Joe was gonna be team. This guy. I do like this guy. It's just, so weird to me when this got introduced. I guess we're kind of getting to the episode, but like, it's just because, so far it's like, okay, we've had Taitsuku, whatever, the sage, but that's like weird sage magic where it's like you do incantations and stuff and it takes like several days or whatever. It's like how there's like magic in Game of Thrones, right? But it's like people praying to like weird gods and doing stuff that's like vague. Yeah,
and then it's just like turning into, but like no one's like casting fireballs at each other in Game of Thrones, right? So I'm like, I figured that's how the magic worked, and then it's just like, no, this guy shows up and it's just like we're like throwing lightning at each other. I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's pretty surprising.
We got a slew of new characters going on here.
Yeah, we get some new stuff, and it's very like, oh, okay, this is interesting. It kind of makes everybody else. It makes Hotohori feel really lame, is what I'm gonna say. Who doesn't do anything cool?
But he's so pretty.
I'm also getting confused about what Noriko's thing is.
Well, right,
she's just like really strong,
fairly similar.
But Tamahome is like also just really strong. Yeah. So I don't. What are we doing here? But he's not strong all the
like
time.
Hotohori, clearly, we've barely seen Hotohori and. He has a sword. That's all we know about Hotohori.
He does have a sword. Yeah. Well, this new guy is so clearly a gimmick guy.
Well, it seems that the power just like increases natural physique, maybe. Like, but it doesn't give you particular abilities. Like, they just happen to be, because you would think like, oh, they have this because they're the ogre, whatever, or Oni, like monster strength or something. But Noriko's Willow, it doesn't seem to have any direct correlation with like the individual constellations and blah blah blah. So I guess it's just like if you happen to already, or if you're already strong, then learn a different thing. So you're strong and this, like you're strong and I know how to do magic, or rather than just be strong, maybe. But I guess we can get into it after we dive into some new voice actors.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to look up this guy's, the new character's symbol on him, because I didn't actually do that.
Ooh, that's okay. Ooh, we're doing stuff.
It just looks like a tic-tac-toe board. It means well.
Oh.
Like a well.
I guess like the great over a well to keep people from falling in, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm just taking leaps here.
That could work. Well, constellation. Oh, it's one of the okay, so maybe the constellations are actually related to this. Well, curb. Wow. That one looks the lamest. It just looks like a weird tic-tac-toe board. Rip to him. Anyway, voice actors. This week, we have 2 voice actors, because I'm going to try to space it out. Hopefully, some of these characters that get introduced will keep being around. So, hopefully we'll see them again if I don't catch them here. But we're finally doing the voice of Noriko, because I hadn't done her yet. She is voiced by Chika Sakamoto, who is the voice of Agumon in Digimon. Agumon.
Is that the main orange one?
He's the orange one, yeah.
Okay.
That's a pretty big one. Also, just like a bajillion background characters and old stuff, like Captain Tsubasa and stuff like that. Just like a huge list of characters I don't know. And the one that I do know is that she is Mei Kusukabe in My Neighbor Totoro. Little girl.
Nice.
Yeah, good one there. And our second voice actor is for Yui, who shows up a lot in these episodes. She is voiced by Yumi Toma, who is the voice of Belle Dandy and Oh My Goddess, who I think is the main person. Someone named Shun Andromeda from Saint Seiya, She's Sylvie Genna in Macross 2. She's Cecily Fairchild in Mobile Suit Gundam F91. She's Sally Poe in Gundam Wing. She's Tedith in Turn A Gundam in a lot of Gundam. She's Fortune in Metal Gear Solid 2. She's someone named Spinel Sun, which is like a cat thing in Cardcaptor Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Eevee in Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. One day when we eventually get to Cardcaptor, we'll have her again.
Yeah, this is pretty funny because it's a lot of...
Have we not had... I thought we had talked about someone who had voiced a character named Belle Dandy and Oh My Goddess before.
Maybe. You know what? But the thing is, like, that's like a long series. And I think they may have switched actors in it.
So I remember
this might have not
what
been for
kind
the main
of name
thing.
is that? Gotcha.
Yeah. So my guess is that they've had multiple people play that role. I just saw this in here.
So quite a few. Both have played critters and then humans as well.
Yeah. This one's funny because it's just like weird little critters or like fairly serious women with all the like real robot series. Very funny. Yep. There we go.
All right.
Get into the episodes.
Okay. Are we doing warnings?
Content warning
episodes?
At the top. We'll just do them all right here.
Okay.
You gonna hit us with them, or are you gonna make me try to remember all the content warning? Oh, okay, I got it. Content warnings for rape and murder. I mean, murder. Who cares about murder? Yeah, and nebulous sexual assault and suicide attempts.
Okay, nailed it.
I think that's all of them.
We should probably look up like the proper way to do that.
I mean, here's the thing is that if you're listening to this and you have watched the episodes, you've already watched the episodes. So, you know, if you haven't watched it, this stuff's going to come up mostly in episode 11.
This is where we say, so take into consideration and listen with care. Or
is that what they say?
Fancy, I don't know. And something sophisticated like that.
Oh, this stuff's going to come up. Content warning. We're going to talk about this content.
Yep. Let's go.
All right, but not really in episode 9. Episode 9 is called Enemies Unseen. We open on Miaka getting dragged into the woods by a stranger while Tamahome gives chase. Last time she met up with Tamahome in the woods, and it's like dark for no reason. And then she gets snatched, so this is her getting snatched. Meanwhile, Noriko and the villagers notice a flash of light behind them. Elsewhere, Miaka bites the hand of her captor, and he's revealed to be some weird boy dressed like a monk, and he informs her that some guys from Kuto are after her, which is why he dragged her off. And then he disappears into his hat because he's magic.
Fun, yeah.
Pretty good. I like it when he disappears into his hat.
I know. There's such a good gag related later.
Miaka looks at his hat and it just seems kind of normal, so she just like carries it with her. She tries to make sense of what happened when Tamahome shows up. But they're interrupted by Noriko screaming, and they go back to see that Noriko and the villagers have all been shot by arrows. Noriko's okay because she's like narrowly dodged everything, but the villagers didn't dodge anything, and they're all just dead now.
Which I feel like they have a good, like, okay, Miaka is just a normal middle school girl, and she just found a bunch of dudes dead, and has like a, reaction to that. And
yes,
I feel like that's all very good. She wasn't just a cartoon character unfazed
until the next scene, and she's a cartoon character unfazed. But here, she was not.
Yeah, okay, there was a moment. She had a moment.
There is a moment here. It's a moment where like, oh, is this like shit's getting real? Is it? And the answer is not really. For her. For the show, it is. Noriko says that they were aiming where Miaka was standing, and Miaka thinks that it's her fault that these guys are dead, so Tamahome comforts her. They return to town, and Miaka eats a bunch of food. A cartoonishly large amount of food. And Miaka tells everyone what the monk guy told her, and she feels bad that she put everybody in danger, but Tamahome says he's going to protect her. Then some guys show up and tell Tamahome that he's got a job to beat up some bandits at the town gates, and he's excited to earn some money. Miaka and Noriko are like, what's with this guy? He's so excited to make money. But the owner of the inn informs them that like Tamahome works for so cheap, it's like basically charity.
If you're going to make it your whole personality, my guy, at least make sure you're actually making some money. Come on.
It's very goofy. We see Tamahome beat up like 30 guys, and he's declared he's earned the equivalent of what would be like $30, and the other villagers are like, you should really charge more, man. It's pretty funny. It's the next day, and Miaka wonders why Tamahome wants money so bad. She sees him mount up early in the morning to go do something, so she wakes up Noriko by shining a flashlight in her eyes, and they decide to follow Tamahome to his hometown. They follow him to his house, where we see that he has 4 very young siblings, and Miyaka's like, oh, he's such a good boy. We learn that his father is sick, so he brings money for all of them, which makes me think that he really should be charging more.
Yeah.
His dad is like, oh, you shouldn't worry so much about us. You should be out there looking for a bride, Tamahome. But Tamahome is like, don't worry about me, Dad. I'm looking out for the family. Tamahome comforts his sad siblings. And Miaka remembers all the time that Tamahome tried to make money and is like, oh, he was doing that because he's secretly a super nice guy. I thought he was just being like a kind of a cheap guy with a weird personality, but I guess he's just a storybook good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, his sister Yurin starts running a fever, so Miaka decides to burst in and help out because she knows what to do for sick people or something.
Well, I guess from what we saw last time, these people are not equipped with medical knowledge, and so even what she's got to offer is bounds.
Yeah, but she just asked for medicine and they just have medicine. So it's like, all right,
well. That's true, right? Yeah. Well, I guess maybe they don't know about like, oh, the compress on the head helps reduce. Although, what is the whole sweating it out thing? Because I'm like, not that I've ever been sick enough or that's a strategy I've seen where it's like, oh, if you're fever, put enough blanket so she sweats it out.
So you sweat out a fever.
I'm like, that sounds horrific.
That is a thing that you do. No, that's the thing that people talk about. It's not real. You don't actually sweat out a fever. You sweat a lot when you have a fever because your body gets really hot. But making yourself hotter so you sweat it out is not what actually solves the problem. Gotcha. It's your immune system fighting off the thing. So she's totally wrong about this.
Okay. Yep. Maybe like an old wives' tale or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, because normally after you sweat something, like when you break a fever, you're sweaty. Your body got really hot. So everyone's like, oh, if you could just sweat a lot, it's the same thing. It's like cause and effect is backwards.
It's annoying because I feel like when you have a fever, you're like, blanket on, I'm dying of heat. Take the blanket off, I'm freezing to death. And there's just no comfort. It's like you're hot or you're cold and there's nothing else. Ugh.
Yeah. Mostly you should just do nothing and drink a bunch of water. But she's sick with anime girl disease, so we don't even know what it is. Anyway, Miaka helps out, and Tamahome is like, hey, so you followed me to my house? And his siblings are like, oh, is this your wife? And Noriko's like, yeah, those two are banging all the time to his dad. And Tamahome gets mad at her for joking. It's very funny.
Yes. Oh, man.
Miaka, who was almost assassinated yesterday, decides to go into the forest alone to fetch some water. She makes me so mad in these episodes.
Yes, there's a lot of... Well, okay. Noriko, you're supposed to be the smart one.
Unfortunately, for Noriko isn't allowed to do anything these 3 episodes, so we barely see her. And also, she's kind of useless when we do see her.
Mm-hmm.
Pour one out.
True. Tragic.
Yeah, so Miaka goes to like a stream to get some water and she fetches it and she's like, wow, I'm fetching water just like I really am Tamahome's wife, but then gets embarrassed because 1, they're not even dating, and 2, he's a fictional character in a book. She's like, right, I'm supposed to be looking for the Suzaku 7, so she takes out her version of the universe of the 4 gods and starts reading to see if she can find out any of the other 4 members. Then she remembers that Yui, her best friend that's missing in the book right now, and maybe she should be prioritizing, is gone. And is like, oh yeah, I should try to find her.
What's the angelic layer? What is the little girl's doll's name? Is that Suzuka?
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of I feel like you're saying Suzuka in a way that we've said it before.
Maybe.
So Suzaki.
Let's see.
Rolling
Hatoko.
Thunder.
Angelic Layer Hatoko doll. What is her doll called? Suzuka. Yeah, Suzuka's her doll.
Okay, yeah,
Damn.
that's what I'm like. I know I've heard you say.
I'm getting messed up. I need to be thinking Suzaku, like in Code Geass. That's what I need to be doing, and not Suzuku, Hitoko's angel.
Yep.
Normal thoughts I need to have while reading. Okay. Anyway, Miaka goes back to reading, and she reads that one of the missing Suzaku 7 is a monk right before she's ambushed by an assassin. Who, he just has, a hoe, basically, and is just, attacking her with that. It's really shoddy.
Yes. Well, she is just a girl alone. So
I know, but, compared to the other assassins who are doing crazy bullshit, this guy is just, a guy. Which is very funny. In the real world, Miyaka's brother, Kisuke, is reading this and shouts out that there's an assassin because he's like, oh my god, my sister's gonna get killed by an assassin. He's like, an assassin, because he's worried for her. And this causes Tamahome in the book to hear this, and he rushes off to find Miaka.
I don't know if we're supposed to take that much of a leap. I think it's more of his, like, boyfriend tingle, like, the girl is in danger.
I feel like him hearing Kisuke reading the book is more realistic than the boyfriend tingle.
Oh no, this is like when she fell in the pond. And he's like, oh, but then
that's true. How come he's the only one who can feel this?
Because of love.
Oh, okay. I like my explanation better, but your explanation is probably correct.
I feel like that's the canonical reason.
Yeah, it probably is. But I like mine better because it makes me feel like the never-ending story is happening.
Like, anyway, he's getting to know his future brother-in-law.
Yeah, great. Miaka is under attack and gets cornered. Suddenly, Tamahome shows up and fights off the assassin, only for a second assassin to show up and attack Miaka. This guy's like doing backflips. This guy's way cooler than the first guy.
I was thinking the first guy must have been like hired by the second guy.
Oh, like they're all just outsourcing.
I feel like it's like, let me get this chump to take it for me, and then I'll just, or something. I don't know.
That's very funny. The second assassin is about to get her when hands pop out of the monk's hat she's been carrying and cast a spell at the assassin. So both assassins flee. The monk emerges from his hat and reveals himself as a friend. He tells Miaka that from now on, she's going to have to take responsibility for her actions and try not to make other people suffer. Advice that she takes in the completely wrong way.
Yeah.
While returning to the village, they hear Noriko yell out again, because that's her role, is to yell, and rush back to Tamahome's house. Or they rush back to Tamahome's house. Miaka thinks that this is her fault that Tamahome's family is in danger. They show up to Tamahome's house to find Noriko and his family all wrapped up in like this ribbon cloth stuff.
Yeah.
And Tamahome immediately gets captured.
It makes me think if it's like the poor man's version of Inuyasha, where it's like the silk string.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Oni. Yeah.
It's like a cloth version of that. But it's like, chains. It's basically operating like chains. Miyaka's like, this is all my fault. And she walks up to confront the assassin. But then the monk shows up and gets in the way. He banishes the cloth using magic. And we get a reveal that he is one of the Suzaku 7.
There we go.
Anyway, they capture the assassin and are about to interrogate him when he is shot with arrows from far away, off screen, even though they're inside of a house. In his dying breath, the assassin says that they need to find the priestess of Seiryu so they can win the war, and then he dies. So we don't get to ask him any more questions. Miyaka's like, what does that mean? And then Tamahome like puts his hand on his shoulder and shakes his head because he's dead now, even though I don't think he's dead now. You don't really die immediately of arrows, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you do here because this is, it's fun, but it's not like getting shot. You don't just like bleed out immediately with arrows. Unless you get shot with like a lot of arrows or it hits you in like the place where all your blood is. Then you die.
Oh, well, I guess he was shot to be silent, so they must have just hit him right there.
Yeah. Time passes and we learn that the monk's name is Chichiri. And he's super weird. And they call him a fox, but he looks more just like a weird magic guy. And Noriko's like, this guy's weird. And he's like, well, it's better than being gay. Which, like, buddy, what are you saying? Are you saying that weird people aren't a little gay? And also, it's a very weird thing to say. I mean, it's just like it's like a back and forth here. But it's so stupid to be like, at least I'm not gay. I'm just a weird fox man. So
at least that was the only remark this set.
It's the only remark. It also is like the most. It's coming from like this weirdo cartoon man, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Miaka apologizes to Tamahome's sick dad, and is like, "Oh, sorry, I brought this assassin and almost got your whole family killed." And he's like, it's fine. I'll do anything to help the priestess of Suzaku." She's like, Chichiri explains that Kuto has been looking for their priestess since each nation apparently has one. So, yep. Each one gets a nation. And Miyaka's like, well, that's going to be pretty hard to find a priestess if, like, they're all isekai girls. How is she going to find one of those? And then she's like, wait a minute. I'm looking for one of those. If they find Yui and make her the priestess, then she'll be the priestess of an enemy nation and we'll be enemies, and that's bad. Miaka makes an excuse to leave and decides that despite the fact that she's been almost assassinated twice in 2 days, that she's going to go find Yui on her own so she won't endanger anybody else. And she runs off as we cut to credits.
This is very anime girl run, like inefficient running.
Oh, yeah. I think I'd never seen in my life before. I was so confused the first time I saw that in anime. I'm like, nobody runs like this. I think I saw it first in Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, what is Kairi doing?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have like a lot of bad calls made in the next few episodes on Miyaka's part.
Just ridiculous calls here. How do we like the Hallmark stuff in this episode where she's like, oh, I'm like Tamahome's wife, or like as soon as there's a sick kid, she bursts in so she can be the wife, even though she doesn't really do anything to help.
No. I mean, we learn a bit more about Tamahome.
Yeah, we learn that he's the perfect good boy, and even the things you thought were problematic about Tamahome were actually good things. Because he's a good boy.
Well, what do you like? You liked it more when he was just money grub. Just
no, I don't. I like him to have a little more personality. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a flattening going on in this episode where like.
That's true.
All of the things that made him kind of unique have just kind of been reduced to like, well, actually, it's a good thing. Oh, you thought this guy had like some complicated feelings about stuff? Not really. Like, it truly feels like, because he's introduced as kind of this rogue, right? Where it's like, you know, he does whatever. He doesn't really care about like the empire or whatever, you know, in politics and things like that. But like, it feels like at the end of this, he's just going to be like a loyal servant to the emperor, and he's just making money to be his family's caretaker or whatever, and it's just gonna like slot perfectly into exactly where you think he's gonna fit.
I was dreading, I don't know, I was like not remembering exactly what happened here, but I was like, I think I was going to like, oh, and Demon Slayer is like, oh, the family depends on me, and then they all get slaughtered, and I was like, oh god,
that's true.
Family's about to die or
that's
something.
True.
But that didn't happen.
That did not happen, unfortunately, because it's all small children.
Yeah, well, so was Tanjiro's family.
That's true. Tanjiro's family were also
and they just went for it, and it freaked me out the first time I watched that. So, but I guess I don't remember the series entirely, but I guess maybe that's like so he's got people relying on him, so can he really be dilly-dallying with some girl, and he hasn't been, you know? So I don't know if that's gonna be, if they'll be around just to hold him back from Miaka at some point.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I'm like this is because I'm like, there was a guy in Gundam X that had exactly the same backstory as, where it's like, oh, he's like a mercenary doing the stuff, and you're like, dang, he's just doing it for the money, but then he's just doing it for the money because he's got to save up for his family. But his was a little bit more complicated with that. Anyway, it was just, I don't know. What's that guy's name? I don't even remember that guy's name.
Well, because we finally had a protagonist or a male lead that didn't seem to be just generic nice guy.
His name is Wits.
That's what we have.
In Gundam X.
What
sorry.
A crazy name.
Yeah. But anyway, it's fine. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But I do. It's also like, you know, Miaka being like, oh, I can just be like a housewife now is like.
Well, I think it's very much. Well, this at the time. I mean, she probably doesn't have any romantic I don't know, isn't this like, you know, girls growing up always play house and stuff where they're pretending that they're gonna be a wife or whatever, and so
that's true.
This is like,
it's fine.
She's still at the stage where like that's kind of an exciting thing. It's just the idea.
Maybe it's just because we're coming from Utena that I'm like, oh, a girl whose greatest ambition is to become a housewife. I'm like very kind of like, yeah, but it's fine. Women or girls can become housewives. It's totally cool if they want to do that.
I mean, it doesn't specifically mean. I think it's just more of the excitement of showing. Look, I can fit into his family because I'm super into him and this and that. But it's like, what am I talking about? Fitting into? He's a book or he's a character in a book.
That part is much more interesting. Being like, oh wait, none of these people are real.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So we'll get more of that hopefully. But I think this thing for me mostly is like, I'm like, I wish I knew why she wanted to go to Joan in high school or Joan high school.
I think it's just because her.
Like, what does she want to do? Like, what's Miyaka's deal?
She's got. I think it's just very much in the present. Oh, my best friend's going there. My mom wants me to be good at school so much that I'm having nightmares about her getting mad at me for failing. So I feel like it's just a lot of like, go with the flow. This is where the people that I love see for me, and I just don't have a strong enough feeling about what I want for myself that I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah.
You know, young and impressionable. So I feel like.
I mean, she's young. Yeah. over the course of this, I need her to have more. I need to get like more of a characterization of Miaka than I have right now. Because right now it's like Miyaka's main thing is girl who loves Tamahome. And I'm like, okay.
And food.
And it's kind of goofy. But those are like quirk kind of things. I'm kind of like not really like driving with. I mean, she's trying to find Yui, right? Like that's kind of a motivation. So she's like a good friend.
Yes.
But yeah, there's just it's only episode 9. I don't know why I'm complaining about this.
Young. It's hard to have like everyone's impressionable when they're young. So but yes, I got this is in some ways a coming of age story, I imagine. So it's gonna be we're like a fourth of the way, a fifth. How far are we into the series now?
It's like 50 episodes, right? So we're like we're like a fifth of the way.
Yeah, okay.
We got like OVAs and stuff,
Joe,
right?
The math guy.
Yeah, that's math.
So we still got a ways to go, but
yeah. But that being said, the idea that this is like a reverse harem at all, also immediately gone. 0% chance that she's with anybody else other than Tamahome. We're not even like entertaining the idea.
Well, I guess I'm like, if I look at a lot of Uwatase's manga, it's like main girl, maybe she has a friend, and then like some guys. So maybe she just likes drawing men more than women or something.
Oh, but it's just like these guys are not. There are no rivals here. This is not.
I guess just because the cast is reverse harem doesn't necessarily
but that's like,
imply
it's
that
not
has
the
to
genre,
be
is what I'm saying.
Aspect. Yeah.
That's just you're just describing the cast. You're not describing like what's happening in the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. Maybe I just was mistaken thinking that this was a reverse harem, but because they made the dating sim. But maybe you just make a dating sim when things are popular.
When there's yes.
Because let me tell you, Chichiri is not a love interest at all. He's like a weird guy with like a tearaway face, which they either do in this episode or next episode. I don't remember. I think they do it this episode.
They start,
Or he has like a mask over his face and he like there's like a tear in it. He like rips it off and it's just his face again under it. And it's like, okay. That must be a thing. Yeah. Anyway, any more thoughts about episode 9?
Nah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, episode 10 is called Looking for Yui. We open on Kisuke reading about how Hodohori is praying for Miaka but senses something bad on the horizon. If only he knew.
I would like to apologize. I feel like I kept calling her Yue before. Yui, not Princess Yue from Avatar.
Yeah, you're calling her the moon.
Yui.
Dude.
Sorry. Okay, Yui.
Meanwhile, the rest of the gang are wondering where Miaka went. Noriko's like, I thought she was just dealing with girl stuff. You know how it is with girls. And the guys are like, I don't know how it is with girls. But then remembers that Miaka mentioned Yui before she left, and Tamahome recognizes that name as the other girl she was with that one time that he never asked her about. He leaves to chase after her because he's like, oh, she's gone.
Maybe a little bit of an airhead like she is, like super not thinking too much beyond what's...
pretty funny. And Chichiri also disappears into his hat. Elsewhere, Miaka takes a shortcut through the woods and stumbles onto a tiger. She's like, holy shit, a tiger, and tries to remember what you're supposed to do against tigers, but this isn't something they teach you because this never happens in real life anymore because there basically aren't any tigers in the wild.
Yeah. That was fun. Doing bits where it's like, nope, that's what you're supposed to do for a bear. Darn it.
She doesn't know what she's supposed to do. So she's about to call out to Tamahome, but remembers that she doesn't want to bother him. So instead she resolves to fight off the tiger with a stick.
That'll do.
Yeah. The tiger lunges at her, but is stopped by Tamahome, who shows up and fights it off.
I feel like his entrance is always like a foot coming into frame. Like,
yes.
It's like the enemy. This is what happened last episode too.
He fights off the tiger, and Miyaka's like, I can't believe you came for me. I'm trying to keep you out of danger. But he's like, you're like a danger magnet. I can't leave you alone, which is just objectively true. Miaka tells him to leave her alone so he won't get hurt, and he takes it all personal and hugs her and tells her about how much he missed her, and the two of them embrace in the woods together. Miaka thinks to herself that when she learned that Tamahome has a family, she can't bear to put him at risk of dying on her account, so she fakes being fatigued and sends him on an obviously fake fetch quest to go get her some candy. She like reassures him twice that she definitely isn't gonna immediately run off as soon as he leaves, and he's like, okay, I trust you, so he agrees and then runs off. She immediately leaves and hitches a ride on, you guessed it, another hay cart. She says she's going to find Yui, but we see that Chichiri has tailed her this whole time because he's better at this. It's nighttime and Tamahome realizes that he's been tricked. He declares that he loves Miaka and that he's going to go get her back. So he's going to ride off and he tells Noriko to go report back to Hotohori because we have nothing for her to do this arc. Go home, Noriko. You can't be here. If you're here, you'll be too smart and the plot won't work. Go home.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Get the other guy who's too smart to be here. Miaka gets discovered in the back of the hay cart and uses her sway of being the priestess of Suzaku to bum off of the farmer and his wife.
Nice.
She stays over the night and then hitches a ride to the border with another random man, but asks the farmer to give Tamahome a message if they see him. Noriko returns to the capital to deliver the bad news, which somehow she did extremely fast. He's like...
Incredibly.
He's like... Hotohori's like, I gotta go find Miaka. She went missing. But his advisor is like, hell no, you're the emperor and we're about to be at war. Are you crazy? You can't just leave? And Hotohori's like, yeah, I guess so. Later, Tamahome rides past the farmer's house and his wife delivers the message, which is that Miaka will be fine. Stop following her. And he's like, well, I'm not doing that. So he keeps going.
What's the point of leaving that message?
Ridiculous.
Like, girl, what?
Miaka reaches the border, which has just a big, large gate checkpoint. She tries to pass through the gate, but the guards ask for her passport, and she's like, I need a passport. And they're like, of course you need a passport. But then they notice how she's dressed and wondered if she could be the priestess of Seiryu. Miaka recognizes that means that they haven't found Yui if they're still looking for the priestess. So she's like, yeah, dude, I'm totally the priestess of whatever your place is called. So you should let me in. And they're like, well, we can't just let you in on your word. So she tries to distract them with Looney Tunes logic, and it doesn't work. Because she's the most cartoon character ever. Fortunately, Chichiri is here, and he uses magic to stun lock the guards so Miaka can slip past. She makes it about 5 feet before she's stopped by a blonde-haired, blue-eyed commander of the guard. He breaks the stun lock spell because he's also magic and asks who Miaka is. She's like, the guard's like, she says she's the priestess, and she's like, yep, I'm the priestess. And he's like, well, that's great. We need to bring her to the capital ASAP so she can meet the emperor. And Miyaka's like, actually, I'm kind of looking for someone right now. So maybe if I could do that first and then I could be the priestess later, that would be great. But she's interrupted by Tamahome, who shows up at the gate and tries to muscle his way through. So she's like, actually, on second thought, maybe we will just go to the capital. That's cool with me. Which she says so that Tamahome won't get involved.
I mean, she's in eye line of him, but he doesn't see her for whatever reason.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Chichiri bails Tamahome out and tells him that they're going to have to sneak in later to go to the capital. They can't just assault the border checkpoint right now.
Okay, well, what do you think Chichiri's motive here is?
I mean, it's more convenient to... I think he does want to break in. I think he wants to go to the capital and see where they're at. Because the thing is that they could just assault the checkpoint right now if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
You know? But maybe he knows that the other magic guy is pretty magic. I don't know.
Yeah. It's also hard to tell because it's we also literally know nothing about.
We do know nothing about this guy. He just kind of shows up randomly. He's like, I'm on the team. And everyone's like, all right. Miaka meets the Emperor of Kuto, who's just an old guy. She's like, this guy's not hot.
I know. Wow. Yeah.
The Emperor is like, oh, this is great. We have a priestess now. They have a priestess. We can win the war. That's great. Then the blonde general takes off his helmet and he's super hot. Miyaka's like, ooh. He's like, yeah, she's the priestess. I picked her up at the border. And the Emperor's like, awesome. Great. They have a priestess. We have a priestess. They don't have an advantage anymore, so we'll just steamroll them because war is easy. And Miaka gets mad and is like, hey, wait now. Hotohori isn't a pushover. You can't just steamroll over them. And the Emperor's like, you know the other guy's first name?
Well, right. It's probably not even his real name, so they don't even know.
Yeah, it's
who she's talking about.
She's like, what are you doing, dude? And she just does a little dance and plays it off. The blonde general is like, actually, there's some more news we need to discuss. And then he brings out Yui, who's here at the capital, but the Emperor does not seem to recognize her, so I don't know where she's been this whole time. Yui and Miaka meet at what's been 3 months for Yui and some number of days for Miaka. They embrace, and Miyaka's like, I came back to look for you. And Yui's like, really? And Miyaka is like, of course, we're friends after all. However, when Miaka goes to hug Yui, she drops her bag, which the blonde general picks up and finds her copy of the Universe of the Four Gods written for Conan. And he's like, she's probably the priestess for Conan. In the library, Kisuke is like, oh, this is looking real bad as we cut to credits.
Ooh, reunited. Look, remember when we thought Yui wasn't Yui, not Yui was not going to be a character?
Oh, yeah, she gets reintroduced into the story. We'll see if that's good or bad next episode.
Yep. This is where the content warning is going to come into play, folks.
Yeah. How many scenes are we going to have where like Miaka needs to get saved by Tamahome at the last second? It's like a comical number of times here. Like, this is the thing that drives me crazy about this section, because this is like very standard, like, kid show stuff, right? Of like, oh, yeah, I'm important to the plot, but me being here puts other people in danger, so I should go on my own, right? Like this, this happens in Avatar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Miyaka's version is way stupider because she can't go on her own at all. Like, she has never solved any of her problems on her own. You know what I mean? If she just like, oh, I'm going to go with Noriko and Tamahome and we're going to avoid towns and stuff, that makes sense. But her plan to just go off on her own, having almost been assassinated multiple times in the last 2 episodes, is like, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, nothing will happen unless Tamahome's there to save her. So if he's not there, then nothing will happen. I don't know.
I can't tell how seriously she's taking all of this.
She's a cartoon person.
She's the most cartoon person out of all these people who are fictional.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Well, there's going to be quite the disparity between what she's experienced so far versus what.
Oh, we're going to get a significant tone change here in this next episode that I feel like almost breaks the show for me.
Yeah. She's had Tamahome and Noriko and blah, blah, blah there to look out for her. So nothing really bad has happened to her yet. I mean, I feel like she's been in close enough situations that she should be more cautious, but I guess she has the luxury of nothing had happened that she thinks she can just go off on her own. Or maybe she has like she's not super talking about it, but maybe there's just like a sense of self-importance from being the priestess. And then, this is like not a real world. So maybe in her mind, not real bad things can happen to her here. Or, it could be something like that. I don't know that we're going to get that good of a explanation why she's being so reckless, but
no, we never really get meta about the fact that they're in a book. Like last episode, she's like, oh, wait, I can't fall in love with Tamahome. He's like a fake guy. He's like a fictional character. But that's it. No one else has been like, wait, this isn't real.
Yeah.
This stuff's kind of fake.
Significant emotional stuff happening, but it's like so in passing with Tamahome being like, yeah, I'm into her. And, it's because like so much is happening in this show that the thing, if this was Hanakimi, then like a whole ass minute would be them hugging. Well, that's not, that kind of happens the next episode too.
Yeah.
Well,
the problem is
so much is happening.
I feel like the issue I have here is that Tamahome has fallen in love with Miaka off screen in the 3 months she wasn't there. So now all I'm doing is hearing about how he's in love with her, but like, I kind of wanted to see that more. You know what I mean? Like, the thing I like about Inuyasha, which is I'm going to compare this to, is that you kind of see him fall in love with her over time.
Soften and You know
what I mean?
It's more satisfying that
In this,
way.
it's like she's back and he's like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much I appreciated you until I was gone, which is like a real thing that people happen, but it's not like narratively that interesting.
Because she's gone and we just don't see anything about what happened. Like maybe if we saw it while she was gone, but we don't.
Yeah.
It's just, it all happens so quickly on our part. But I guess that's kind of how it would feel for her. She was back and, okay, you weren't that into me before, but now you're into me now.
Yeah. So like I get her state of mind on this, right? I mean, being the I don't know. It's just weird how.
We're both young too. So you get caught up in emotions.
I think maybe it's the thing that I think is weird is that she is worried for Tamahome's safety in a way that she is unconcerned about her own, which would make sense if she's like, well, I'm the main character, I have plot armor. If she thought about it in that way, and like Tamahome is a fictional character, but those thoughts don't happen. We don't get that. So I just don't know why she's so blasé about her own existence and just thinks everything's going to be fine. But is...
Well,
concerned. Like, it would make sense if she just like found an excuse to cut him from the team. Like, you need to stay here. I'm going with Noriko and Chichiri, and we're going elsewhere. You need to stay here. Well, but going off completely on her own, I'm just like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, we have all these other cool people. Give them a chance to save her too. Like, why does Tamahome get to do all the saving? We have more cool people. Let them show off their stuff.
Oh, well, Chichiri gets to show off quite a bit next episode.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Next episode 11 is a wild time.
All right. Should we do it? Should we do episode 11?
Yep. Let's do it.
Episode 11 is called The Priestess of Siryu. We open on everybody wondering what's going on. The blonde guy is like, yep, as I suspected, she's the priestess of Suzaku. And I'm like, how would you suspect that, my guy? But whatever. A guard brings word that strangers are breaking in the front gate, and Miaka uses this as a distraction to shove past the guards with Yui, and they both run off. They make their way to a storage room, and Yui's like, what do we do now? And Miyaka's like, we need to get back to Konan. We'll be safe there with Tamahome and the others. Miaka notices a scar on Yui's wrist that looks suspiciously like maybe she tried to cut herself on the wrist, but Yui says that it's just a scratch. She explains that she got sucked into the book 3 months ago and like ran into this blonde guy, and he brought her here, and that's just kind of where she's been. Miyaka's like, yeah, that blonde hair, blue-eyed guy is pretty weird. It's like, that's not like a normal combination of people here. And Yui's like, oh, he's a foreigner, but they keep making jokes about the exact word she uses because it's not a word that Miaka knows. Outside, Tamahome is beating people up. The blonde guy shows up and is like, you must be one of the Suzaku 7, huh? Pretty stupid to come here alone. And they have like a big strong guy fight, but the blonde guy is pretty good at fighting and hurts Tamahome while barely touching him. So Chichiri casts some stop magic on him, but the blonde guy breaks it after a few moments because he's also good at magic.
So he's well-rounded.
He's well-rounded.
He's not like
too
freaking when the yep.
Yeah, he's got real like first dungeon boss energy from this guy. Back inside, Miaka panics after realizing that they still have to get Conan's version of the prophecy because she lost that too. She's like, shit, now we got to do that and we have to escape. But while like panicking because she just like half stepped out of the storeroom, they get spotted by the guards, but they are conveniently saved by Tamahome. And Miaka is embarrassed to talk to him because this is all her fault that she ran away. But Yui seems pretty excited to see him.
Is this the part where she tries to disappear in the hat? Because that is... There's a gag where
she disappears. She tries to disappear in the hat when she like bursts in to help his little sister.
That's what I thought that was just so fun.
That was really funny.
Like it worked for him. It didn't work for me. So good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
Miyaka's very funny.
Yes.
Tamahome is still...
We also got... So sorry. Is it this episode that we get the eye catch change?
Yes.
If we should have known from that.
We get the eye catch change.
Was coming.
And it's worse. But I think I noted in my notes here that I don't like it as much.
Oh. Gotcha.
I mean, it's more cinematic, but it doesn't have a cat in it.
Fun times are over.
We didn't
even know who the cat is.
We didn't even learn who that cat was. Yeah, it's so true. Anyway, Tamahome is still kind of hurt from his fight with the blonde guy. So Yui says that she's like, oh, you were fighting that guy? I'll just go talk to him, and then runs off. And they're like, okay. Tamahome is like, now that they're alone, Tamahome is like, why did you run off, Miaka? But then we transition scenes before she answers. Elsewhere, Yui meets up with the blonde guy whose name is Nakago. He's like, you shouldn't be cooperating with the priestess of Suzaku. But Yui counters that she didn't agree to be their priestess, and she can do whatever she wants. So fuck you. But apparently he's been telling her that Miaka has forgotten about her all this time. But here she is now. So like, what do you got to say about that? And Yui says that she's going to go back with Miaka to Konan and wants the prophecy back. He gives her the prophecy and tells her to remember the condition that he found her in. And we get a snippet of a flashback where Yui is being violently assaulted and we hear the sound of torn clothing.
Conclusions to be drawn from that.
We'll get to that later. Back in the present, he questions whether Miaka really came back for her and that if she changed her mind, if she changes her mind, he'll still be here, and Yui leaves. Back in the storeroom, Miaka and Tamahome hash things out. Miaka insists that finding Yui was her business and that Tamahome wasn't supposed to get involved. But Tamahome is like, is that really true? This is all about finding Yui? Then he turns to kiss her, and they kiss. Yui is so relieved that she'll be able to leave with her best friend Miaka and Tamahome, a guy she thinks is kind of cute, but is surprised to find them kissing each other in the storeroom.
Yeah, it's very clear that she was like kind of into Tamahome, with twinkle in her eyes when Miaka mentioned him and this and that.
Tamahome is like, did you really want to just forget about me? I still love you, Miaka. And Miaka says that she came back to be with him. That's why she's here, because she loves him so much. She just didn't want him to get hurt, which is why she ran away. Outside, Yui, having heard that 1, Miaka has come back to be with Tamahome, and 2, Tamahome, the guy she likes, is in love with somebody else, wonders what she should do as she looks down at the scar on her wrist. Tamahome and Miaka kiss again while a music box plays. This goes on for like a minute. Pretty good.
It is very long.
Pretty good, though. It's drama. I like this drama.
Because normally it'd be like, oh my god, they're kissing, and you would revel in that, but it's like, oh shit, all this other stuff's going on with Yui. That's like, you're thinking more about that and the implications.
Yeah, let me tell you,
like, consequences of that, and not that they're kissing.
Let me tell you, the only thing I can think about through the rest of this episode is this stuff. I'm not paying attention at all on my first watch of anything else past this because I am so distraught. Anyway. Yui decides to finally interrupt what she's saying, or interrupt them kissing by like coming in and saying that she is the prophecy. We get a new eye catch, not as good as the last one. That's my note.
Yep.
Later, Yui, Miaka, and Tamahome start to leave while Yui tries to process everything. Miyaka's like, oh, is something wrong? But Yui just deflects. Tamahome wonders why they're just being allowed to walk around and not really being pursued by anybody, but it turns out that Yui is leading them to a different part of the castle. It's an enormous room, and Yui asks Tamahome to wait outside, and he's just like, yeah, okay. Like a real dumb guy.
Well, I mean, we saw what he fell for the candy switcheroo last time, so he'll fall for anything.
The girls go inside, and Miaka gets startled by a statue of a dragon and screams, and Tamahome tries to run in to see what's going on, but is repelled by a barrier. And then Chichiri shows up and explains that this barrier won't let any of the Suzaku 7's servants in. Inside the chamber, Miyaka's like, oh, it's just a statue. Why was I freaking out? And Yui's like, I don't know why you were freaking out. And then we see that there's like an enormous indoor water fountain in here, and like there's like water falling from columns and stuff. It's like a really cool room.
I know. I was like, damn, yeah. Seiryo's got way bigger budget for their shrines.
This place is so much fancier.
It's like in a closet somewhere with nothing else in the room except for that.
They put that shit in storage.
Like, what the heck?
Freaking Conan spends all its money on, like, hot boys when they should be building elaborate rooms. Yui gets super serious and asks what it would have been like if she got sucked into the book first instead of Miaka. She's like, maybe then I'd be the priestess of Suzaku and have fallen in love with Tamahome. Miyaka's like, what? But suddenly falls to her knees as her body starts to go numb. Yui explains that they're in the chamber of Seiryu, and as a priestess of Suzaku, it's going to be like a pretty bad time for you, Miaka. Also, your boys can't come in and save you. Miyaka's like, you tricked me, and Yui grabs her by the hair, always brutal, and accuses Miaka of leaving her alone in this hellhole for 3 months. She says, you came back just to be with Tamahome. You didn't come back for me at all. And she starts crying, asking if Miaka has any idea what's happened to her in these last 3 months, which Miaka clearly does not. Yui throws her down and says that this is all her fault. And then she's like, but you know what? I'm actually in love with Tamahome now, and I'm going to take him away from you. Miaka mostly just ignores that and is like, what happened to you, Yui? But instead of answering, she calls out Nakago, who's just in the room, and he introduces himself as one of the Seiryu 7. And then she, like, turns to leave. Nakago uses...
Sorry, I was going to say, when he was like, remember, blah, 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 what happened? He was all like, well, if you want to return, go to the sanctum of the whatever.
Oh,
so
yeah,
this is like
this is part of the plan.
To a trap.
Yep. This is a trap.
Yep.
This is his trap, but also kind of hers, but mostly his. Nakago uses brain magic to throw Miaka across the room. He doesn't seem to have to cast spells or do hand signs or anything. He just kind of does it.
No.
Nakago tells Miaka that she is a threat to Yui gathering the Seiryu 7 and needs to remain here. Miaka asks Yui why she's doing this, and Yui's like, well, clearly you never really were my friend if I kept believing you for the last 3 months, so like, whatever, I don't need to explain stuff to you. Miaka asks Yui again what happened to her in the last 3 months, but Yui responds by telling Nakago to throw her again. He does, but is caught by Chichiri, who has somehow broken through the barrier because he's magic.
Yeah. Miyaka's getting torn up.
Yeah, and Chichiri is like, oh, good thing I caught you, because if I didn't, you would have been like walled and died or something. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Yes, yep.
Nakago is like, you must be the magician on the team if you can break that barrier. But then the door behind them explodes as Tamahome like punches the door open. It's like a bomb exploding.
I'm just like, dude, Chichiri's got this. Leave it to him.
Did Chichiri blow it up or did Tamahome punch it? What happened? Did Chichiri explode? He used explode attack?
Would you stop making up names for these? None of these are what you're calling them. There is no explanation. There's no stasis, whatever you're saying.
He doesn't move. It's just like, what if I just blew up, basically?
No, I think it's supposed to be like the Tamahome going against the barrier.
I think so too. But it causes like a normal ass, like a bomb dropped on them.
It's dramatic.
It's cool.
He's gotta be hot and like his clothes being shredded.
Let me tell you, we're about to see hot Tamahome for real right now. He's still stuck behind the barrier, even though he like destroyed the like frame of the door. Tamahome now sees an injured Miaka and decides to push through the barrier. He gets pretty far. Well, there's like a lot of flashing lights and his like clothes are ripping off and it's like really dramatic. And it looks like it's something out of like, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z or like Fist of the North Star or something. Sweet. It's wild.
His hair's all pushed out of his face.
Pretty good. Like, damn, he's going freaking Hulk mode. He rushes in and eventually like breaks through and then punches Nakago, who pretty much just didn't react to any of this because he's so shocked somebody could do this. Then he goes to Miaka. And Chichiri says he's going to hold them off while Tamahome and Miaka get out of here. Tamahome beckons Yui to come with them, but she does nothing. Chichiri holds off Nakago's like lightning blasts while Miaka and Tamahome escape through like a portal or something that Chichiri makes, I guess.
Little hat, right? It's going through his hat again.
Is it the hat?
His magic hat. I think so.
I wasn't sure. Before leaving, Tamahome says he'll be back for Yui. And then they and Chichiri leave. And it kind of looks like all of Chichiri's masks get blown off and we see his face maybe, but I couldn't really tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got some scars on his face.
Chichiri face.
It looks the same as the other faces, though.
No, it doesn't. He has an actual face under it. It's not a cartoon face under there.
That's true.
It's not the fake fox, right? Because they all have to be hot. So there's
That's true. He does have like a hot guy face under it. Yeah, it's like I thought it was just like drawn more detailed because we're in serious mode now, but maybe you're right.
Mm-hmm.
In the wreckage, Yui's like, wow, Tamahome even break through the barrier to get to Miaka. Damn, he's the real deal. And then she makes an evil villain one-liner to Nakago about how it would be too easy if they beat them now. She looks down on the scar on her wrist as we cut to credits.
Okay, Joe, let's hear it. A lot of shit going in this episode.
So I was pretty distraught watching this episode. This is a pretty upsetting episode.
Yes.
Because I like Yui, and to know that we've been keeping Yui
full story.
Yeah, to know that we've been keeping Yui in the wings just so we can have her get raped later on, pretty upsetting, especially considering that has not been the tone of the show up to this point.
Yeah.
Basically at all.
Yeah, it's very much like Miyaka's had like the time of her life hanging out with hot guys, and then her friend Yui comes in and then has like the worst possible experience. And I guess what got her through it was hoping that Miaka was going to come for her, and then for her to hear that, you know, Miaka was just in it for Tamahome, which is someone that she also has feeling. It's just so shitty.
Yeah, it's like the worst possible thing.
I know, because Miaka was worried about it being like, oh, if she's the priestess of this other country, then we'll just automatically be enemies just because we're being forced to. And then it's like, no, it's a very personal matter, in fact, of why you guys are going to be opposing forces. But it seems like, was it not Nakago? He seems to have known. Well, he may not be the emperor, but he seems to be. Maybe his emperor is more just like a figurehead, or like
the emperor doesn't know shit.
Highly of him. Yeah,
because he didn't even know who Yui
clearly
was.
He knows. Yeah, he has been hiding Yui, but like I probably puppeting it to be like, oh, we got to find our priestess, even though he knows we found our priestess, because I guess he probably got informed from Yui that Miyaka's out there, so he knows they're looking for her and that she stressed. It seems like he's very much the puppet master. Yui has been resistant to being the priestess, but she also knows what's going on, right? Because she was reading the whole time. So she's like, I guess reading, you know, she had met Tamahome when they were first in the book together and then reading about him. So she probably was just very kind of like had her heart set on being involved in the story she had been reading and not wanting to be in this one separate from what she was familiar with. But
well, the thing is that like if you and this kind of goes back to last episode, right? Where it's like if you just read the story, if you just look at what's happening to Miaka, she has plot armor. Nothing bad ever happens to her, right? Because she always gets it's always like kind of like the threat, but kind of like in a story kind of way. Yuugi gets sucked into the book and she does not have plot armor at all.
Yeah.
Clearly. Which is
well, like what happened if Miaka had immediately picked up the book and was looking at it?
I was trying to see back if it makes sense for her to do that. Does it make sense for her to do that? Because she knows that she's reading, because she sees her reading early on, right?
Yes.
So she knows she's in the library. Not when she gets beckoned back, but like kind of can probably assume. And she like goes to check and see if Yui's home and she's not. But there's no other explanation for where else she would be, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like at that point she should have gone back, but instead she goes home and studies for a couple of hours and tries to forget about Tamahome and only remembers to go back because of Tamahome. So like Yui is kind of right about the fact that you really did just come back for him. You really didn't like. I was kind of an afterthought. Like you came back. You went out of your way to come get me, right? But like, she's correct in being like, but the only reason you did that is because you couldn't stop thinking about Tamahome, which is true. Which is the thing we see on screen.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure that if like she woke up the next day and Yui wasn't at school, she probably would have pieced it together. But by then, it would have been years that she was in this book, right?
Oh God, yeah.
So, I don't think it's like, and like Miyaka's kind of an idiot. I kind of feel bad to be like, oh, you shouldn't. But like, this is pretty serious. This is like serious business time.
Yes. Yep.
So I think Yui is 100% justified in being angry.
Yeah.
Because the book's evil. I mean, the thing is that this episode reveals the thing that her brother says is true. The book is evil.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean, because she's been all right. Yeah. Plot armor, this, not taking things seriously. So I guess we'll see. Because that was a very intense encounter she just had with Yui, grabbing her, throwing her around. I can see her being in the denial of like, oh, if I just talked to her again and explained it, then she, I feel like that's going to be a whole thing. And then everyone else is going to have to talk her out of it. But
yeah, I mean,
or I don't know how quickly it's going to sink in for her that, or she's actually going to think about what happened to Yui, or she's just going to, and then this is going to like, or this has happened. And then that suspends the romance element because that was happening so quickly in the story. And that now it's going to shift to Yui stuff. I don't know. You're feeling the show.
Well, I mean, this is like, there's a huge tone shift, right? Like, this is way darker than anything else. Like, having a character get raped and then try to kill themselves is, like, pretty bad, even though we're seeing all this stuff kind of post-gress, right? And it isn't, like, it isn't, like, explicit that's what happened, but, like, that's what happened. I don't think, this feels to me like you put edgelord stuff in your 90s manga and not, we're going to actually deal with this in, like, a serious way. So this annoys me because I feel like you can accomplish the heel turn, like, because that's like the narrative thing that happens, right? Is that we need to put Miaka and Yui at odds with each other. I feel like you can accomplish that heel turn without that stuff. And unless we do something specific with that stuff, I'm going to be upset that stuff's in here when it doesn't have to be. Because so far, nothing has led me to believe that we are treating anything with particular care.
Yeah.
Like it is not a serious show in that way.
Well, it's also gonna be hard to, like, if we're going back to bits and stuff, enjoy that in the same way we were.
Well, it's also like, I mean, again, it's like retroactively makes everything, like, I get really angry at Miaka being like, you just ran off by yourself. Like, that's like the things people are saying are not like you run off by yourself as the plot armor character in a children's cartoon where we all know nothing bad's really going to happen.
Yeah. Well, because there's been like the constant, or at least in the very first few episodes, a lot of like, threatening the danger of assault like that. But it didn't really seem to weigh on her.
It just like, it makes her seem like she's not aware that that's a thing that can happen, right? Like, when you engage with anything, you always have some suspension of disbelief about, like, the world your characters live in, right? Like, I'm assuming that
Miaka has never read a story that's like this where a character goes into a fictional world. Or otherwise it'd be like, oh, it's just like this. It'd be like, oh, it's like Page Master or whatever, right? And that's like pretty normal. It's like how people in zombie movies usually haven't seen zombie movies, that kind of thing. And you don't really question it because you're like, that's just like how you read this kind of story. So when that stuff's happening, I'm not like reading that into being like, oh no, it's like Miaka really was almost about to get sexually assaulted. I'm just kind of like, we're like heightening the stakes so that Tamahome can save her. When she gets cornered by a tiger in the forest, I don't actually think she's at risk of being ripped to shreds by a tiger because I know that Tamahome is going to save her because I understand how the story works. Here is like breaking that, being like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have Tamahome here, that specific guy, then that stuff is going to happen to you. And like, it makes sense why Yui would be so like fixated on Tamahome, the guy who can prevent that stuff from happening to you, as the guy who didn't show up to prevent that from happening to her.
God, that freaking sucks.
And like, it's just because the book hates you. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, freaking, we need her brother to like flip back because he's gonna see that this happened, right? And then he's like, okay, well, no, Miaka doesn't know what happened, so he as the reader isn't going to know that this is what happened to Yui. But I'm like, because he has the power maybe to flip back and see what happened in that time. But this is someone that he also knows. But it's like, is this the story of Miaka or is it the story of anyone who's in the book? Like, is the book accounting for
that's a good point.
Yui's time, or is it like only when Miaka, because it's the Legend of the Four, whatever. But this particular, Fushigi Yuugi, this series we're watching is about the priestesses Suzaku. So I don't know. Yeah.
So I don't know. This really. I had like kind of a hard time watching this episode.
Well, I think the next episode, because I watched the end after the credits, and it has like the little like next episode. So I think the next episode is showing Yui's perspective of when she first arrived there.
I don't know if I want that either. A fun time I don't want that.
Sometime. This is the 11th episode, and we're hitting this, so it's not like we had that much time to. A lot is happening in like different realms, like relationship stuff, plot stuff. But we know we haven't even, this is our 4th Suzaku 7 guys, so we still have like at least 3 more of those to find. In addition to, I guess, if Yui's the priestess of Seiryu, then she's got to find her folks too. So far, the guy she does have seems kind of ominous and scheming.
Oh, terrible!
So
he's like, so
we don't
he's
feel
so
great that she's
her.
with him.
But she's smart. The thing is, like, Yui's smart, right?
Yeah.
I feel like she should be able to outwit this guy. I mean, now I'm full.
But she also just had a horrific experience, and then if that's like the only person that's helped her, and
it's so bad. I mean, like this is like the book is evil, right? Like she is like just being completely treated the worst possible by this book. So this is like, I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to just like enjoy this as like a fun fantasy thing when I'm like, it's gonna be like the Magneto problem where I'm like, actually, Yui, who's gonna play the villain role, is completely justified in everything she does, and probably should just be like murdering dudes whenever she wants because it's there. She's in a book. It's not real, or I mean, stuff that happens to you is real, but those people ain't real. Who cares?
Yeah, because we're viewing from Miaka's perspective, but how neutral is the show going to be in presenting us Yui's side?
Yeah, this is gonna have
How am I doing? Am I doing good at like being like, this is crazy, and that I don't?
I know that you already knew this.
I know what's gonna happen.
I know what's gonna happen. I don't know. Depending on what happens next is really gonna decide how I feel about this. But this does drag me out of a lot of the like goofy, happy, fun times we were having.
The stuff we did like about it, yeah.
And now I'm like, Yui should go and kill Taitsu-kun. That's what I want her to do. I want her to invent magic guns and shoot people. What?
Well, do we think Yui wants to leave the book?
Yes.
Because she knows Miaka did it. Miaka did it without having to collect all her dudes or whatever. So I feel like in theory Yui could too, but seems like she's going for the...
That's true, but there's no way Nakago would let her leave the book.
That's
0%. He would even tell her that's an option.
It's gonna suck because we're just gonna see how much more it's like she's a bird in a cage. God, yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of the Miaka and Yui different experiences.
Yeah, I'm just
had.
I feel like she's just gonna get slot into like the rival villain slot, even though that's not really what I feel like is going on with her. But that's just where we're gonna put her in because that's how tropes work, and that's gonna be very frustrating for me.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to see how it's handled. 11 episodes in. Crazy. I guess any final thoughts or predictions before we wrap for today?
The guys are hot. This episode does have them being the hottest they've been, and I think that's pretty good.
That's true. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we like
Chichiri's cool. Blocking magic lightning or whatever.
I thought you would like him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's cool. I don't like his voice that much, but other than that.
Okay, his voice is, well, I'm like, was he serious sounding at the end when he has like
he's doing
I'm
a fake
wondering
voice.
now, does he have like two different voice actors for when he's serious and not serious? But I guess you'll probably do his voice actor next time. But yeah, it's a very like nerdy voice most of the time. Like we haven't covered Kadocha, but his Japanese voice makes me think of what the voice should be for this one character that I've only watched in dub, Tsuyoshi. But I
want them to go back. I need Noriko to be back in the story.
Well, there's gonna be, I guess they're all gonna regroup.
She's so close, but like she's already found what, 4 of them? We're so close to being done.
Yes. Okay, well,
she didn't even do anything.
Hotohori being restless that he didn't get to be there, and then, kind of letting Tamahome cover it, and then what happens when Tamahome is looking after her? She gets all injured and stuff, so he's probably going to be like, I can't leave it to you, and maybe this is his chance to try it. But they just confessed their love and just kissed, but now she's not even going to be thinking about that, because and then she's probably has a weird guilt thing, knowing that her best friend is into the guy that she's into. So I feel it's about to get very complicated with the romance.
I'm not going to be interested in that at all, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
she's got it. Okay,
this happened. There's probably going to be a serious break between the next time they encounter each other.
Yeah, it's going to be some time. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we just collect some dudes and we just have some 1v1 battle stuff going on. That'll at least be interesting. Miaka needs to put in a little more work to find some of these of the Suzaku 7, because they've all just kind of showed up right in front of her.
Yes.
Didn't really do anything.
None of them have been of effort. Yep.
Yeah, we got 3 more, and I feel like she's got to put in Chichiri literally found her. You know what I mean? Like.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 more. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, we gotta snap out of it.
Yep.
Wrap up this episode.
Yep.
So that I can immediately go watch the next 3 episodes.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how do we transition? That's the end of our coverage of episodes 9, 10, and 11.
Well, there you go, folks.
Yeah, a little heavy today, and I foresee that.
Listen,
carrying over to next time.
You said that you told me that this is a messy show when we started, and we just watched Revolutionary Girl Utena. All right, so that was a much messier show.
Some crazy ass shit too.
Some crazy stuff. I feel like it's handled a little bit better than that one, but the stuff still kind of happens. So maybe that's a good comparison point as we go forward. But yeah. So stuff to consider. We'll see how it handles all of this. It'll be pretty interesting. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Okay.
Rate us 5 stars. We gotta go. Long episode. 5 stars. 5. Bam, bam, bam. You go into the app. You press that 5 stars. You're like, poosh. Sorry, did I interrupt you? Should I have let you go?
No. Keep it going. Smash that.
Leave a comment. Send us an email if you want to know if you want us to power rank a bunch of people. We'll do it.
Yeah. See, look, viewer question acknowledged here on the podcast. So if you too want to hear our thoughts on stuff.
If we put Oscar in the role of Utena in Revolutionary Girl Utena, do we think Oscar is breaking the cycle and rescuing Anthe? I think she does.
Yeah, I think so.
I think she does. I don't think Oscar is falling, because Oscar is trying to be a guy.
I miss Oscar.
Do you think she's gonna try to be in the
freaking
future?
Cool.
Okay. If Utena is in Oscar's position, do you think she joins the French Revolution?
No, I feel like she's just gonna go on an adventure by herself or something. I don't know. I feel like she doesn't have the same sense of
I feel like she does. I feel like she does.
She does to Anthe because Anthe's her friend, but Oscar's is Oscar's is a more like system.
I feel like Oscar would definitely join the revolution, but it would be like Robespierre gives one speech and she's like, yeah, that just makes sense to me. And her dad's gonna be like, do you not consider our like position in the hierarchy? And she's like, whatever, dude. Because she's got jock brain.
Too deep of a cut. If you haven't look, everyone, these are plugs. Listen to our coverage of Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant. Listen to our coverage of The Rose of Versailles. Excellent series. And if Fushigi Yuugi's bumming you out, we've got happier ones like Himini Todoke and
now if we put Marie Antoinette in Utena's position, there's no way she's causing the revolution. No, she's gonna fall in love with Toga and just be an idiot girlfriend.
Her and
there's no way she figures that out.
What's her face? Are besties? The sister.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's Marie and Nanami.
Yes.
Oh, you're so right.
Together.
That's exactly what would happen.
God. Or they have like a bully off. They just bully each other. Okay, well, we've got another segment before we wrap our long episode today, Joe. What did we learn?
If you disappear into your hat, you still need somebody to carry your hat around. What are they going to do with the hat that they got left at the palace thing? That hat's still there. Does he have a second hat? Like a second portal hat?
That is a question.
Where are the hats?
I don't think we have learned.
You're right, I didn't learn that. You're right. What did I learn?
Oh my God, Joe is off his groove. He's been thrown off.
I'm just because I was thinking about Chishiri and I'm like, where did his hat go? If you're going to assassinate somebody, you absolutely should hire some idiot to be your first line assassin. Even though it kind of seems like if you just did it yourself, you probably would have got her right there. You probably shouldn't have outsourced it to a guy who screwed it up, even though she was standing still. Probably by announcing yourself was a bad move. You could just shoot arrows at her because apparently those are one-hit kills on everybody. Arrows OP. You should always be shooting arrows if you're an assassin. Never use any other weapon. Like the cloth chains are cool. That's true, but Noriko is also one of the Suzaku 7, so you know you're gonna have to do something heavier with them. Yeah. Arrows are good. Just use arrows, dude. Just don't use anything else. Bust out the crossbow. They've invented crossbows in China by then.
If your chick, look, if she's like, oh, I'm too tired, just pick her up and carry her back. Don't buy her lame ass.
If magic is real in the world you live in, you should learn some rudimentary magic. You should at least learn the stun lock spell.
Yeah.
And
not the real name, but it's a fun stun lock. Is that from a thing?
That's a thing you do in fighting games where you just get somebody in a combo, basically. But it's also like stun.
Gotcha.
It's just like a stun attack or stop, like in Final Fantasy where they can't move. You should do that.
Joe.
You should shoot lightning.
What do you? I have an idea.
What?
Not related to what you were just talking
about. Oh, you're not going to I have a spell, actually. Magic's real.
No, sorry.
I don't call it stun lock. I call it something else, and this is how you do it. Sorry.
I feel like your favorite Survivor player would be Tyson because he's like, I don't believe in anything except magic. That's real.
Yo.
I feel like you like him. I was like, oh, okay. I think for a bonus episode, it might be fun if we did next week the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that got leaked is going to be officially out. Maybe we do a bonus episode on that.
Yeah, maybe we could. The thing is that I'm supposed to watch it with some of my friends on Saturday, so we could do it. You could join us if you wanted to, but I don't think I'm going to like it that much. But it's okay. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth it. We should do it. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a summary.
We're gonna do that eventually.
No. Okay, we'll do it though. Making summaries of movies is hard. 3 episodes is kind of okay because they're broken into little chunks. Movies is hard, especially if they're good movies because they usually have like multiple plot lines happening at the same time. Oh, so hard to summarize. Anyway, we should do that. That's a thing we should do because we talked about the live action one point, right?
We did.
In the episode. It's not a bonus episode.
Content on it, but we mentioned it in passing which I have not watched the.
There's no way we could mention it. We're not doing content on it. Those things are garbage. Sorry to anybody who likes them, but stop liking them immediately and adopt all of my opinions.
That's right.
Oh, I couldn't do it. Okay.
This is where you come to, Shoujo. That should be my intro for the podcast. Welcome to Shoujo, your go-to for everything you need to think about everything.
Adopt my opinions on things.
Everyone, thank you for listening.
Arrows. They're so good. They're so good.
Okay.
Everybody's weak to arrows in ancient China.
We're at an hour and 35 minutes. We gotta get out of here. Okay, everyone, thank you for listening. And brace for impact. And I don't know.
It gets worse.
Look forward to I can't remember what. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay.